So the theme,
the intro theme
is it's me playing the piano, but not only me, it's. Well, I can't say that name, right? Or I can't, I guess.
No, we bleeped him out.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I'll bleep him out.
Or one of my buddies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we played it together on the one piano, so it's not one person.
It's like a four-hand piece.
It's a four-hand piece. Yeah.
Nice.
Because I wasn't good enough back then to do it all with one hand.
All
Two
right.
hands.
Well, you're gonna hear that right now, and then I'm gonna put the intro in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Dim-witted podcast. I believe this is episode 12. We have another guest host with us this week. This is a good friend of mine, the illustrious, the handsome.
No, stop
the
it.
intelligent.
Stop it. Oh my god.
The Mr. Kyle Harridge.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I got picked this week. I was the lucky winner this time on the roulette wheel, I guess.
Don't tell him about the wheel.
No, not the wheel. Okay. Yeah, spoilers. There's a wheel. No, just kidding. Yeah, but yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I'm happy to be hanging out with my boy Scott for the day, just talking about stuff.
We got some good plans for y'all. This one's a little special edition. Usually, I mean, we're gonna of course do our infamous Dimwit of the Week. It wouldn't be Dim-witted podcast without Dimwit of the Week. So we're gonna get to that first, but for the remainder of the show, me and Kyle, we're movie junkies. We gotta have it.
Yes.
It's in our veins. We got it from our fathers, but we can get to that later.
That's true.
It's an inherited disorder. It's genetic.
It is a genetic disorder, I think.
But we're gonna be talking about movies a lot. Specifically, Infinity War and A Quiet Place.
Yeah, should I give the spoiler warning right now?
Or
we will
try
to hide?
No. We're gonna go full spoilers.
Okay.
It's been out for 2 weeks.
True. And we haven't seen Infinity War at this point. Yeah.
So after Dimwit of the Week, if you're just not interested in spoilers or movies, I guess you can go ahead and just get the hell out of here. That's why we're doing Dimwit of the Week first, to accommodate you.
Yeah, I don't even know what the Dimwit of the Week is, so I'm with everyone listening. He said he was gonna save it, and it's gonna be a surprise because he wants my genuine reaction.
That's how I run the show.
So let's hear it, Scott. What you got for me?
This is a headline from May 4th. Mystery pooper at New Jersey high school's track turned out to be the superintendent.
What?
Exactly. You gotta read more.
Wait, the mysterious. Okay, yeah, go into detail about this.
The Kenilworth School superintendent, charged Monday with defecating in public, was caught in the act at the Homedale High School football field and track after surveillance was set up due to human feces being found, quote, on a daily basis.
You said caught in the act, right? He got caught in the act.
Well, he maybe not by a human, but there was recorders set up.
He got caught in the act.
Because
I was like, that'd be awkward.
Someone was pooping out there daily.
Well, why? And it's not just the principal, right? It's the
superintendent of the school district.
And he chose that school?
That school.
Wow, and that's a lucky school.
I'm going to get into a little bit more, and then we'll come up with some theories.
Okay.
Forgive me, Thomas, but I'm going to butcher your name. Thomas Tramellini, 42, lives about 3 miles from Homedale High School in neighboring Aberdeen. He was running at the track on the athletic fields at 5:50 a.m. before he was arrested. So he was like going out for a morning run and then also pooping. Like, poop before you go for your run, my boy. Like, I mean, just because you're the superintendent doesn't mean you like own the football field and the track.
Grass. You don't own the field.
This is my school district. I wherever I want. So it says school employees began monitoring the area on Monday, and the police arrested him at 5:50 a.m. He's charged with lewdness and littering. Littering. That's a fun one. He is due in municipal court soon. He is taking a paid leave of absence from his $147,000 a year job.
Paid leave of absence?
Yeah. You know, I really got to get me one of those jobs where I can just up so bad that I get paid to leave.
That's the dream right there.
You know what? I'm gonna enroll in the police academy.
That's what you're gonna do, just for those benefits. Just so when you decide you want to defecate on the field.
No, I mean, police you could kill somebody and get paid leave of absence.
I guess you could.
You can screw up even worse than the superintendent.
Is that what you want to do, Scott?
No.
Okay.
But for the joke, yeah. For the sake of the joke,
yeah.
I will enroll in police academy.
I can roll with that. Yeah, I feel like it feels like a Scooby-Doo episode, you know, where they meet at the very beginning of the episode, the superintendent.
The superintendent is the one who calls the police.
Yeah, I hope you catch the criminal. And then at the very end, they take off the mask, and it's the guy they introduced at the very beginning. Oh, no, it's Mr. Jones. Thomas. It's Thomas.
Dude, I bet it's like one of those Criminal Minds shit, though. Like, you know how they say, like, the serial killers always come back to the scene of the crime to like watch like the aftermath and stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's been pooping here every morning. He's probably like tipping off. But also at the same time, I feel like as a superintendent, you would know, like the school would be like, hey, like we're gonna set up security. Like you probably have to okay that as a superintendent. Like
maybe he was just like loving the thrill of it, like the adrenaline rush.
He wanted to get
caught. He's just testing to see how far he can go without getting caught.
How good am I?
Exactly. There's cameras, there's guards, there's watchdogs, there's everything, and I'm still gonna go poop on the fields. Watch me. Yeah, exactly.
He's the Tom Cruise of lawn shitting.
Yeah.
You know, I might regret this, but I have a similar story myself. But I was I was not an adult, so I feel like I'm a little more allowed to poop out in places.
Well, how close were you to being an adult?
2 years.
Okay.
From being like a legal adult.
I just wanted to make sure you weren't like 8 or 9 years old.
No.
Like, then I could be okay. You
know. No, it was.
You were 19. Okay.
No. 8. I was 16.
Sorry, legal adult, not drinking. Sorry, 16.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was 16. I used to have a friend who lived over in. I'm not saying that neighborhood's name.
Okay.
But there's golf courses in it.
Okay, I think I know which one you're talking about.
And he lived on like hole 9, practically. Like his backyard was like right up against it. So when we'd sleep over at his house, we would sometimes like sneak out and like go like around on the golf course and shit. Like literally, we would go shit in the hole.
Wait, that was you? Wait, that was you? Scott.
Did you golf the next day?
Scott, I was on the golf team. Scott, I legit remember this happening. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was like
I legit remember coming to golf.
It was like 2010.
Morning. Yeah, we were in high school. Yeah, dude. I was on the JV golf team every morning. We would go out at before school
and
golf.
Have to bleep that.
Oh, wait, what?
You said.
Oh.
No worries, I'll bleep.
Okay. Anyways, so yeah, we went out to the golf course to practice before going to school, and I remember one day my coach told us there's been some kids pooping in golf holes, and we were all just like, what? Who would poop in a golf hole?
I felt bad for whoever.
It was you?
Well, see, because the way I see it now, like, I wanted just some rich golf ass to have to, like, discover it. Not some of my own peers. Or not like a lawn. The worst was, I imagine, like, the lawn crew guy, like, going out there and, like, having to, like, clean the shit out of the hole. Which probably what happened anyways. They were just
bringing it up to us because they thought it could have been one of us.
I mean,
during practice.
It was close. It was like someone in your age group.
They were on the right track. But they never caught the culprit, I imagine.
Yeah, because he doesn't know how to golf. And he only did it that one time. So if it was a multiple occurrence thing, it had to be me plus some other people having the same idea.
Maybe you started like a revolution or something. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Or maybe the kid whose house I was spending the night at, like, he would, like, challenge every person. Like, it was, like, a ritual. Like, every time you spend the night, he would be like, all right, you gotta go
shit. That was
the
sleepover tradition. If you, like, hazing for the sleepovers.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to spend the night here, you go crap in that hole over there. And dude, then you're good.
It's pretty scary, man. Those courses aren't, I mean, they're decently well lit, even at night.
Yeah.
And all the houses are just, like, against the course. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody's backyards and homes are just right there.
Yeah.
Like, anybody just open the window.
I'm honestly surprised no one saw you because there's always like that old dude or old woman, like old lady just sitting at the window at night on the porch. Just seeing it.
It was late,
like in the movies. You know?
It was late. It was like 1 or 2 a.m. It had to have been.
Oh, okay.
So I feel like most people were asleep. We were like solid snaking our way through the golf
You
course.
proning across the golf
We
course?
pressed X to change our position.
Dig into the sand,
Yeah.
wait, have like a little periscope and whatnot.
So that's that little story. Not super proud of it, but hey,
It's a good story.
yeah, it is
Hey,
a good
it makes
story.
a good story at this point. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm not ashamed yet.
I just think it's funny that we were connected in like
Dude,
some strange way.
that's not the first. There's been a time where I saw somebody like fall down in a puddle, and it turned out to be Lee.
Wait, are you kidding?
Yeah, so this is like the second like crazy occurrence on the podcast.
Holy.
That's nuts. Yeah. So wait, was it just a one-time thing, or did they say like
They just kind of brought
people
it
have
up.
been pooping
Yeah,
and
they kind of probably made it. If you only did it once, and obviously they were probably going to make a little bit bigger out of it, bigger deal out of it.
Maybe
so
it
they
was
said
just
there
me.
was a thing. There's an event of people pooping in holes.
it's
so.
been an issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that can't be like. I bet that happens to every golf course that has neighborhoods around
Pooping
it.
in holes.
Yeah. Like I can't be the only teenage boy who is like, I'm gonna poop in the hole. Like that's funny. Like there's a lot of boys. Your silence speaks volumes.
I just have never had those thoughts.
Well,
I'm a teenage boy. I'm sorry.
Well, you're a good boy.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I have never had those thoughts. So I guess I am a good boy. If that's what constitutes being a good boy, then yeah, I'm a good boy.
Yeah, not like vandalizing and.
No, I don't think I did any of that. No.
I mean, I won't go into it. Well, listen back next week and I'll tell them more about my history as a vandal.
Man.
Specifically with like bodily functions.
It's like Scott's Confessions
podcast.
podcast.
This
now.
is how I cope with my past. It's like I just put it out there for everyone to know.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, that was our dimwit of the week. Superintendent pooping on his own school's fields. Or I wonder if it was something.
And he
would
have gotten away with it too.
What if a coach had like made him like upset and he had a vendetta against like the track coach?
So he was doing it because he was angry at somebody.
Maybe. But I like our first idea is that he's just a psychopath.
I think he just I think he had it gave him like an adrenaline rush. It made him it was hyping him up that he could like get away with this, and he was trying to figure out how long. And secretly, he wanted to get caught.
On to our movie section. First, let's do Infinity War. Okay. Now, do you want to talk movie or do you want to talk numbers?
Well, I mean, numbers. There was a big number that they passed yesterday.
Yeah.
I believe. I think it was $1 billion, right? And it took them
11 days.
11 days, which is the record. Now.
What was the record before that?
It was The Force Awakens.
And how long did it take them? Like 14?
I honestly don't know off the top of my head.
But
you could look it up.
More than 11.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember them saying it wasn't super close. Like there was a good gap where it was easily number one at this point.
Yeah.
But what's interesting to me is it's still number one. I was looking this up. It's still number one box office in all of, across the world. It's still number one at the box office. And Marvel's always had a tough time hitting those other box offices besides America.
Yeah.
So
I feel like Black Panther helped with that.
Black Panther did
really helped open up the Marvel scene to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
If they weren't already into it, they definitely were after Black Panther.
Yeah.
I knew Black Panther would do well, but I wouldn't realize it would do well than some of just the Avenger movies, the previous Avenger films.
Yeah, I think Black Panther's top 10 all time now, right?
Yeah.
Grossing worldwide, number 10.
Yeah, it broke the Billy mark.
That's
as
crazy.
Well, but in a much longer time period. So who knows where Infinity War will end up on the map. And it didn't even have that bad of a drop off because usually historically with these big fanatical movies like Harry Potter, Twilight, these Marvel films, opening weekend is astronomic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all the fans and lovers of it, Week 2, everybody's seen it. Boom, drop off 65 plus
40, 50%, 60% drop off.
Especially on Twilight, Harry Potter, some of those big ones really go down by 60 sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But this one only went down by 54%, and it went from just domestic on its first weekend doing 250 something
51, 52 million
down to just 120 something million on the second weekend.
Yeah, it's
still huge.
See, I want you to make your prediction about where it's gonna end up because you got
Oh, it hasn't even started in China. It haven't even released in China yet.
Another big market hasn't even been opened yet.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna end up the biggest of all time.
You think it's gonna pass Avatar?
I think it might pass. I don't know.
I think it might.
I think it has the potential to pass Avatar.
See, the thing about Avatar is it was in the theaters for so long, and they re-released it on the the extended edition in theaters, which I went to go see, and then they had the 3D down, so everyone had to go see it in 3D. So
and this movie is about to get cut off by Solo. Solo's coming out,
and Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2 is coming out.
Ooh,
it just won't be long until it kind of fades.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Solo beat Black Panther for pre-ticket sales.
That really shook me, dude.
That surprised me too.
I was not because I already know people are like not super pumped. I didn't, at least on Star Wars fans.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait and see. I'm not ready to go see a midnight release kind of thing.
I still might be there midnight release just because it's my thing, But
yeah,
I'm gonna keep my expectations very low. So I don't go in there come out disappointed.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised that Ron Howard pulled it off.
I don't want to do back-to-back major disappointments in Star Wars films. So, let's try to keep this one positive at all costs. So.
Well, we'll see. I mean, it's got Donald Glover in it, so that's enough to get me in the theater.
And it's got, can't think of her name right now, Khaleesi.
Emily Clark.
Emilia Clarke, yeah. And Woody Harrelson. Yeah. And
it's got a good cast.
What'd you say you called him Discount Peter Mayhew, right? Old Chewbacca. Discount. What'd you call it? Yeah, something like that. You called him Discount Peter Mayhew or something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean they had to replace him. But what I was happy about is it looks like he's in just a regular fur suit.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if you noticed in Force Awakens. Not Force Awakens. I'm sorry, The Last Jedi. Dude, they CGI'd him. They had to, or they had to augment his fur, make it extra shiny. There were some scenes
where I felt like they touched it up with some CGI. I think because I've seen pictures of the actual Chewbacca actor playing it in Last Jedi, but I agree there were some scenes where it felt.
Yeah, I think the Chewbacca suit looks fine. Even the one from the 80s, the mid 80s, I think it looks fine. I don't think it looks fake or cheesy. I accept it as Chewbacca. I don't need them to go in digitally and comb his hair.
I agree.
It actually takes away from some of the authenticity because I feel like Chewbacca wouldn't be well groomed. He'd be all matted and nasty and tangled up.
A walking carpet.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Thank you.
That's exactly what he is.
So I feel like in the trailers he looks like a walking carpet, and that made me happy.
Yeah, I think it has potential, but I'm not counting on anything.
Plot wise, I'm not excited. I feel like it's just it's gonna be almost your standard heist, but with a twist to subvert your expectations somehow. Yeah. They're gonna mislead you. They're gonna do the whole the popular Disney Marvel thing lately.
Yeah,
where they're having fun misleading people.
Yeah, but yeah, Infinity War. So big numbers. Do you want to?
We'll just get into the movie.
Get into the spoilers.
Yeah, I don't know. I've kind of had a long enough time to digest it now, where the high is worn off. I've come down.
Yeah.
When I the first weekend after I saw it, I was just I couldn't shut up about it. I was so excited to just go off and talk about it with everybody.
It was crazy. Yeah, I went to go see it with some people, and I really liked it.
I really did like it too. I thought it was great. I think anytime the Russo brothers get involved, you're in for a good ride. They also did Winter Soldier and Civil War, which are some
two of my other favorites. Winter Soldier is still my number one, I think. But yeah, there was a couple scenes that kind of frustrated me. I think the biggest one was the dramatic scene where you got Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Spider-Man, the Guardians all trying to take down Thanos together before he has all the stones on Titan, right?
Yeah.
And they're all teaming up and they're all using their stuff, and Mantis jumps on top and she's got
She's like trying to
sleep
weaken
and
him,
like
yeah.
so he's like stunned.
Strange has got one hand.
Yeah, and
Spider-Man and Iron Man got the glove.
Yep, and they're like, I got him. He's like, ugh. And then here he comes. Peter Quill, the one and only, walks up. Where's Gamora? he's already like hypnotized. Like, how is he gonna answer like logically? And then Mantis is like, he's mourning, he's crying.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I had to do it.
Oh, and then
no, you didn't. And then here's the best part. So Spider-Man and Iron Man are 2 seconds away from getting the Infinity Gauntlet off his hands. Thanos says Gamora's dead, right? I get it. You're upset. So Peter Quill has all this gun, right? He's holding a gun. So instead of shooting Thanos...
But before he's like, while he's interrogating Thanos, Gamora's sister, what's her name?
Nebula.
She's just standing there, and
she's in that scene?
She is, and at one point to Peter, it's what sets him off, is she goes, he went to that one planet with Gamora, and he came back with the Soul Stone, and she didn't. So she was just standing there, like, watching it happen, and she, like, egged him on.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so Nebula eggs him on, and then he's all worked up because Gamora's dead, and he was in love with her, and then he has the gun. And what does he do? He got this mad type pistol whips him in the forehead.
Because he thinks his chin is a ball sack, so he thought it was extra weak.
And I'm just like, that is how you bring him back. I just wanted Thanos, like, to have all these people controlling him, and then he alone, like, his power, just, like says no and just like destroys them all.
That would have been good.
That would have showed like his power more.
Like,
but
without the glove, he can still do it.
Well, yeah. I mean, he would have like brought the glove back on. Like it would have never got off his hand. But I don't know. The whole pistol whip thing just brought me so far out of the movie. I'm like, that's how you bring him back to get the Infinity Gauntlet.
Well, I feel like that was for them. That was more of like a Quill moment than it was like how would this logically work in a fight?
But I feel like through everything else, like, I guess, I don't know. It just felt like he's smarter than that to realize that at that moment was not the right moment to pistol whip Thanos in the forehead.
And to support that being annoying even further is earlier on in the film they established Peter as like more level-headed when they first fight Thanos, because Drax is about to do exactly what he did. Yeah, when Drax is going to give away, and he's like, wait.
Yeah, because he knows how powerful he is.
Yeah, and he wants to like go in at the same time. Don't just like rush in headstrong.
Yeah.
And they all ignore him, and I feel like he would have learned his lesson from that. Yeah. And then later he does exactly what he was trying to not let Drax do.
It really just felt like they needed a way to get Thanos back, and that was like the best thing they could come up with. But I thought it was.
Oh, dude, that's so much of the movie it's the best they could come up with.
Yeah.
Because when you're dealing with the Infinity Gauntlet, it just becomes infinite possibilities. Like, why didn't Thanos just produce a lot more food instead of killing like half of everybody?
That's what me and my buddy went to go see it, and he's a big comic book guy, and the Reality Stone, right, can literally change reality, like the laws, like reality itself. Yeah. But it looked like in the movie it was more like you can cast illusion tricks on people. Like he'd chop up Drax, in the one scene, and then he just comes back together.
Show
and
what Titan used to be.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just that's how it always is in comics. Like,
well, they had to debuff it a little bit because it definitely like it's too OP. I feel like although in the movie he really was like holding back a lot, like especially in the final fight.
I like that scene.
He's just slowly moving through people, just punching one shot, knocking people out. He's not killing them.
Yeah.
He's just defeating them. Because he says even in the beginning, like, I want you to try your hardest and think that you're so right, and you still lose. Yeah. So like the whole movie, he's letting people like give it their best shot. Oh, we have an interruption. We'll be right back. Sorry, we had like a fire inspection come over to Kyle's apartment.
Of course. Yeah, right when we're recording. Yeah.
But anyways, I think I was on the point of like, Thanos just wanted them to know defeat, like when they tried their hardest. So that's why he really wasn't like unleashing the full power, because he could have just come down and used the glove to like literally like kill everybody he felt like it.
You're right.
And he didn't feel like it, and that wasn't his goal.
Exactly.
And he definitely like the best bad guy with like the most depth.
I agree.
Where it's not just like, I'm gonna conquer the world
because I'm evil.
Just because something bad happened to me and now everyone suffers.
Right, yeah. I really, like, watching that movie, I felt like his reasons, he felt like were justified. Like, the way he logically thought about it. And I could see, like in the character that he really felt that what he was doing was right.
It's a twisted logic, but it's logic.
Right, exactly. And I really like when movies do that, where they make the bad guys, their reasoning, not although it's flawed in some way, it seems like a logic that I could actually see someone believing. Kind of like Magneto in the X-Men. That's how I
exactly.
It, you know?
If you can watch the movie as a Magneto fan or as a Thanos fan, and it like
Thanos fan.
If you can watch the movie if you're like a big Thanos fan, and you root for him.
Thanos fan.
Thanos fan.
You've been saying. I know. You've been saying. I didn't know if you tried to play it off the first time or not. Yeah, Thanos fan. Sorry. Okay, continue. Magneto fan and Thanos fan. Sorry. Go ahead.
When you watch the movie, like with that perspective or point of view, like it's a great movie with a happy ending.
Okay,
in some of those
that's
cases.
Where you were going with the whole thing. Okay,
that's where I was going with that.
Okay,
especially Infinity War. Like if you're a Thanos fan, that's so strange. What the heck's wrong with my brain? If you're a Thanos fan and you come watch this movie, it's an awesome movie.
Yeah,
and you leave the theater happy.
Yeah. I agree. I should go back rooting for Thanos this time and see how it goes.
It's just as fun.
Yeah. But I really liked the movie. I thought that they did a good job balancing all the dozens of characters they had to juggle. And it might have been you, but someone else maybe I saw a post online about how Vision, the whole movie, takes so many L's in the movie.
He just gets like
beat up,
mortally wounded, like as a jump scare.
Yeah, like everywhere he goes, he gets beat up.
Yeah.
Scotland, right? The beginning in Scotland.
Yeah.
He basically gets the stone almost taken out then.
Yeah.
He's weak. They transfer him to Wakanda. He's getting operated on. Someone busts in while he's weak, gets punched out of the window, falls to the ground, gets killed by Scarlet Witch, the woman he loves, then gets revived by Thanos with the time stone, then gets this stone popped out of his forehead again to die. Like, Tragic. What a rough 2.5 hours for that boy right there. I feel bad.
Yeah, they could safely do that to him because no one was a big Vision fan.
Yeah, they didn't have him he didn't have a big enough character, his emotion. He didn't have an emotion. That was kind of his thing. Is he was very logical and he could see without.
That's
emotion.
why in Civil War he didn't really fight.
Right.
All he did was draw the line down the middle.
True.
And accidentally hurt somebody.
True.
He's practically always been kind of useless.
Yeah, and he's really strong in the comics.
Yeah, he's very strong. He should be super strong with the power of the Infinity Stone.
Yeah, he should.
So that's another qualm. And then I was having flashbacks to surprisingly just one little combat moment brought me back to Green Lantern.
Oh no!
Can you guess which one? I bet you can't. You might.
I probably won't be able to, but I'm gonna guess it's something in Wakanda.
No.
It's not. Okay.
It was on Titan at the end of that sequence we were talking about earlier, where it's just Tony versus.
Oh,
Thanos.
when he's using all the stuff and
he's and he's transforming stuff at will.
Yeah,
I was having Green Lantern's flashbacks when he
I never made that connection.
Hooks his feet into the ground and then turns his arm into sledgehammers with rockets on the back and double punches them and then transforms into something else. I was like, oh no! All he needs is one of those green rings around his finger.
I mean, that's funny because at this point, if it's nanotechnology, he kind of is
he's just bending it to his will.
Yeah, he's kind of like a Green Lantern in a way where he just thinks of what he wants and it's going to happen.
Yeah,
as long as it's in his suit.
Exactly, and I did notice that there seemed to be limits to it though. At the end when he's using the the whatever pulsar beam from his hands, his boots move up his leg and into his arms, and he's just wearing his regular clothes underneath.
That's
so
he's
cool.
I noticed that.
He's diverting power into his attack away from his legs, leaving other parts of his body exposed. So that was a cool detail. So it wasn't unlimited Green Lantern power.
Oh no, Green Lantern's a little bit stronger than Iron Man is in the comics.
Poor Ryan Reynolds.
Hey, he's doing fine as Deadpool now, so I don't feel sorry.
He made a big comeback.
Yeah.
So that was just kind of made me smile, and I'd been waiting to bring that up to you because I wanted to see if anyone else
made the connection. Oh, now that you're pointing it out, I can definitely see it. But I would have never thought about Green Lantern unless you had brought that up. I guess I tried to block that movie out of my memory entirely. So thanks for bringing that.
I didn't want to think about it either, but it's just in that fight scene, his suit is just morphing and transforming into weapons and shapes and stuff and swords. I'm hey, I remember this. I remember when Ryan Reynolds turned into a big tank mech thing with the Green Lantern?
Yeah, of course. Dude,
Yeah.
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 It's all coming back to me now. So, something that I'm coming around to is at the very beginning of the movie when they're on the Asgardian ship, right? And you got Thor and Loki and you have Hulk. And
Who somehow sneaks up on Thanos.
Yeah, somehow Hulk manages to sneak up on all 4 of his Black Order and Thanos. And then Hulk starts throwing Thanos around. And then Thanos literally starts doing, like, some actual martial arts stuff where he's, like, karate chopping and, like, punch blocking and, like, doing some fighting technique. And then, like, pile drivers Hulk into the ground and then just beats him up, like, no problem. But then the rest of the movie, all you see Thanos doing is just, like, just kind of, like, uppercutting. And I wanted to see more of... Like, is he like a kind of a martial artist fighter, or is he going to be more of just like a brute force Hulk fighter? And I don't know.
I feel like that kind of makes sense to me in a way, because like versus the Hulk, like the angrier the Hulk gets, the stronger he gets, and he's like from the comics, the invincible Hulk. He's invincible. You can't kill him. You can only like exhaust him or defeat him. Yeah. So like just going brute to brute, like strength versus strength, wasn't gonna like defeat the Hulk.
But he has the power.
He was gonna like outfight him. True.
I mean...
But then you're going to have the Hulk fans who are going to be like, Hulk get mad enough to where he's as strong as the Power Stone.
His Infinity Stone strength.
And speaking of the Hulk, dude, I was having flashbacks to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy.
Oh, where you Spider-Man 2, where he's not Spider-Man anymore. It's
when you have like a subconscious struggle and you lose your superpowers because
you don't believe in it.
Or some, well, at least for the Hulk, it kind of makes sense because the Hulk is like a separate entity, kind of, in a way. Like they think independently of each other, but they're trapped in the same body. Yeah, fighting for like control is how I see the Hulk.
Sure, I can. Yeah,
but there's still the whole thing of just like Hulk refusing to activate. I've never even heard of that like happening before.
Yeah, I guess what Thanos beat him up so bad he was scared to come out because
that's like what it seems. Yeah, just a little bitch.
I guess bitch Hulk. I guess that's it.
And that's really out of his characterization. Like, especially from Ragnarok. Like, in Ragnarok, Hulk, like, sees the huge, impossible Ragnarok, and what does he do?
Jump into it.
He literally, he jumps into it.
Cannonballs into it.
He tries to, he raises both his fists in the air, and he goes, smash.
What's his name? His name isn't Ragnarok. We had this discussion.
Surtus.
Thank you. I don't remember that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Surtur.
Surtur? Yeah, Surtur. You're right. It's Surtur. Yeah. That's the guy who unleashes Ragnarok.
Yeah.
But yeah, he literally just jumps into him.
Yeah, exactly. That's the Hulk.
And maybe they're trying to show how powerful Thanos is because he was able to silence the Hulk.
Yeah, maybe.
By fighting his martial arts skills into Hulk's body. You know,
Did you notice that in the trailer, there's the scene where in Wakanda, it's like Cap, Bucky, Captain America, the Green Hulk, Black Widow, and they're all like slow motion running
right at the very end of the trailer, right?
Yeah, and that wasn't in the movie.
You're right,
because in the Wakanda fight there was no Green Hulk. He was in the Hulkbuster the whole fight.
You're right.
They intentionally
because they didn't want to spoil
put fake shit in the movie. Yeah, and in the Wakanda fight from the trailer, he only had like the blue and purple stuff.
I caught that.
So they're intentionally like putting fake shit in the in the Hulk. It's easy because like they could just CGI that in there and CGI the Hulkbuster in there. Like they could really do it either way.
True.
It's no big deal for them.
Yeah. But overall, I liked it.
Yeah, overall, very good movie. I can't nitpick it too hard, and that's what I was afraid of. Is like once you bring in the possibilities of a villain who can literally do anything, it's very easy to go into the cheesy realm, or like the stuff that just doesn't make sense realm. A lot of movies when they bring in that kind of power into the movie, it just starts to go out of control. Yeah, I think they did a good job of controlling it.
I agree. They made him seem like he could beat anybody. Yeah, but not in a cheesy way. Like they still made it seem. Yeah, they did a good job. I mean, did a good job.
DC could never pull something like this off. Could you imagine a DC film where the B plot is a hero putting together a ham or an axe for like 30 minutes of the movie?
No.
And pull it off and have people legitimately like that part?
No.
No, they couldn't do anything close to that.
Maybe down the road, we'll see. Maybe they'll learn. Maybe they'll adapt.
The giant Peter Dinklage was great.
I mean, that was a great surprise. I don't know. Didn't hear anything about that.
I know. I didn't either.
They did a great job hiding it.
Someone made the joke that like, because he had both his hands like cast iron hands.
Yeah,
and they were like, Jamie in Game of Thrones has just the one golden hand.
Yeah, I guess
And so they're like, hey, always having to outdo his brother.
Yeah, I liked how they called them they were dwarves, but they were big dwarves. So and it's Peter Dinklage, so I guess it was kind of a joke in that way. They were kind of just poking fun. So
did you catch the Arrested Development?
I watched the trailer. Yeah.
No. In Infinity War, there's an Arrested Development Easter egg because the Russo brothers would like sometimes direct old Arrested episodes.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, they did. That's why in Civil War, at the airport fight scene, there's the Bluth staircase truck.
There is.
There is. You can look
No
it up
way.
later.
Oh my gosh.
And then in Infinity War, when they go to nowhere,
Okay.
in the collector's place.
Yeah.
In the background, inside one of the tanks, is Tobias, and he's like all blued out. He blew himself.
He blew himself. I'm afraid I blew myself.
Yeah, and it's for like 1 second. It's like on Gamora. She's like sneaking up, and in the background, it's Tobias.
That's amazing. I had no idea that's in the movies.
Yeah,
no idea.
I'm wondering if there's one in Winter Soldier now, because every time they direct a Marvel movie, they put in an Easter egg.
That's worth a Google.
That's worth it. Yeah, we'll come back to that.
We'll get back to that though.
Or look that up on your own.
Yeah, that too.
But overall, yeah, very good, very good. You definitely should see it if you haven't already. And I recommend you invest some time in looking at the other movies leading up to it, because that's where it really pays off.
Yeah, I agree. Specifically, I mean, the other Avengers, the Captain America movies are pretty. All of them are important in some way. I feel like.
Yeah.
Just to tie in either the location or the stone or why a character is where
Exactly.
they are, kind of thing.
The way the characters act and behave is well established.
Right.
And so all of this kind of plays when they all the little character interactions are fun.
Yeah.
And they're extra fun if you already know the characters.
Exactly.
I saw someone complaining about why weren't people more shocked to meet Rocket Raccoon when he came to Earth. And remember, there's a scene when Winter Soldier is holding him by the scruff of the neck and going 360. Why was there at no point someone holy cow, a talking raccoon? That would have been funny.
I guess. And also the tree. You got Groot there too.
They did that. They did one. He was like, "This is my friend, Tree," says Thor, and then he says, "I am Groot," and then Captain America goes, "I am Steve Rogers." So they did that for Groot.
You are right. Okay.
I wanted them to do one for Rocket. He's just there. Nobody's
That's
like,
true.
wow. That no one. I guess. Well, there is a war going on.
Yeah, there was, and there was the creepy crawly beasts also there, and I guess they just kind of accepted that.
We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I guess Thor called him a rabbit. What
he
rabbit.
Calling him rabbit.
Yeah, a rabbit. So yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
I just feel like maybe they had it in and it just got cut out for time.
I mean, it was already a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have been okay if it was a little bit longer, but
he got plenty of screen time.
Everyone did. They did, like I said, they did a great job balancing everything.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for part 2. That was the one thing that got me. I was expecting some deaths and such like that. However, I was expecting it to end. I thought it was going to end. I thought it was going to be one movie. What I was expecting is Infinity War, Thanos would come, kill people, then get killed. Then Avengers 4 is the new Avengers, where it's Ant-Man, Wasp, Spider-Man, basically everybody who's left, and they start phase 3.
Captain Marvel, maybe.
Yeah, bringing Captain Marvel, and then they do 3 more Avenger movies, but it's the new Avengers, and none of the original Avengers are still around.
I didn't think about that. I think
they're still gonna go that way, but it's just gonna take one more movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say they need to. If they were gonna do that, they would have to start setting up the villain now. They did
set it up though, because Thanos is still around.
Well, no, I meant if they were gonna do it your way. If Thanos died in this one,
oh yeah,
they would have to start setting up the next villain in the next movie. Otherwise, it's not gonna have the depth.
Well, they could set it up in the end credits of other heroes movies, like they did with Thanos.
Well, yeah, but if they want to, I guess it depends on how serious they want to make this next villain. If that was the case, but obviously Thanos isn't dead, so
I think they're still kind of going to go that way because everybody who's still alive is the originals.
Right. Well, that was this thing I was reading was that in the scene from Age of Ultron, there's the scene where Tony Stark has like a vision, and he's in space, and he's walking like just towards around, and he sees everyone dead, like not Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, Captain America, all like the main characters, and that's when he sees like the broken shield, right? There's that scene in the trailer where like the broken shield. So people are thinking maybe what's gonna happen is they're gonna try to either like, trade like Thanos, because he only wants half the universe dead, Thanos, right? So maybe they're all gonna sacrifice their lives to bring back the Guardians and Spider-Man, and that's how they're gonna get their movies, and that's how
I think that's what's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna be so much as a trade as I think it's just gonna be another fight.
That could be.
I feel like they're gonna fight to get back with the remains of the gauntlet, use the remaining power it has left, because it kind of looked all fucked up after.
Yeah, like you only get one use to destroy half the universe.
Like it took up a lot of its power. Yeah. But so I think they're gonna get that back, but in that fight, like it's gonna take a lot more sacrifice. And in this movie, a big theme was like we don't trade lives.
True.
Like, we don't have to make sacrifices, and because of that attitude, they lost.
True.
So I think next movie they're gonna change their attitude and be like, wait, we're the Avengers. This whole franchise has been about avenging previous fights that we lost. You know, like we might not be able to save the Earth, but we damn sure will avenge it, or whatever the line is.
and I guess the other thing was about that was the Soul Stone, right? Is people think that all the people that died, you know, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, they're trapped in the Soul Stone.
I don't know about that.
And that's how they're gonna get out and
It's a good theory. He kind of goes into the soul world, though, after he snaps his fingers. He goes into the orange, glowy world, and it's just Gamora in there. And she's like, was it worth it? He was like, hell yeah.
What did it cost you?
Yeah.
Everything.
I guess.
Yeah. I don't know.
Unless she was his everything, that was it.
Yeah, so you could disagree with me on this one. And I guess this also made Thanos a more complex character. But in that scene with Red Skull, which...
Fan service.
With my brother, I've been telling him since Captain America: First Avenger that Red Skull is not dead.
Well, because he got beamed away.
That's what I said.
It showed him
and
like
every movie
up.
afterwards. My brother said, "You're crazy. He's dead." And I said, "No, he didn't die." And sure enough, in this one, I was sitting down on the other end of the row because I went with him. Yep, I did that kind of thing. I was like, "You can just suck it," because I was right. But I guess I had a hard time. Because you had to kill or sacrifice someone that you love. And I guess I had a hard time believing that Thanos truly loved Gamora to the point where they would give him the Infinity Stone for killing him. I don't know. I wasn't completely sold on that idea.
I think it's his idea of love is twisted just like his idea of like balance and justice is. So I think in his own mind it was like his deepest love. And apparently it was enough.
I guess looking back it makes more sense, but in the moment when I saw it happen the first time, I wasn't a big fan of it. But I'm accepting it now. I'm not having a problem.
I kind of liked it because I was agreeing with Gamora when she started laughing.
Right.
I was like, she's right. Like, he doesn't love anything. And then, like, he turns around and he's crying, and I was like, oh, shit.
Okay, really. Don't you think it was obvious, though, when it was Gamora and Thanos there?
I mean, I saw
and
it
as soon as he
coming,
said he had to sacrifice someone, I'm like, well... Gamora's dead. It was so obvious.
It was obvious, but they still did it well, and the music at that part was moving. And like they do it well. It's not our fault for like being able to like see what's coming.
Well, I mean, good writing sometimes has good plot twists that you don't see coming. But I don't know. It's aging well in this past week or so. But in the moment, I thought is that really love? Like, is that... I guess to him, like you said, in his twisted version, maybe it was. And that was enough to warrant one of the most powerful stones in the universe to be just given. So, I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I kind of agree with you. They probably could have rewrote that whole scene just to be like, you have to make a sacrifice.
Right. Yeah.
A substantial one. They could have taken out the love thing. But I guess they wanted to try to, like... show that he's capable of it,
Capable of love, right? And that kind of makes the ending scene better with Gamora, and also the whole thing where he's crying inside and Mantis is on him, and seeing like his pain inside because he had to kill the only person he's loved, right? So quotes. So I thought it was interesting at first, but I'm okay with it. I'm adjusting well to it. Yeah.
I think some of my I could go on and on. We probably should wrap this up because we want to talk about A Quiet Place. For
True,
just a little
Quiet
bit.
Place, just a little bit.
Quiet Place. I had good expectations. One, because I just started hearing a bunch of good things about it. And I really, as soon as I realized it was like the whole theme of the movie was like kind of like silence, and like they move in silence and they pour sand on the ground. Like you see all that in the trailer.
There's a lot of cool, stuff.
And so from the trailer, I was very excited from like the world, like the scary worlds that they're gonna find themselves in, and they drop you off in it. Like, as soon as the movie starts, they don't explain anything to you, like
they just know
how it happened, the state of things, how many people are left. They kind of explain it to you as they go. And I liked that.
You can kind of point out, like, you don't have to see it, but they have little newspapers and they have writing and stuff, and they show they called them Angels of Death, right, or something like that.
In the paper. That's what
they called them like the Angels of Death coming, and you could see like in the newspaper when they figured out about sound, and they knew now sound is what draws them near and stuff. I thought it was I thought they did a great job with the whole silence thing, because it started, I had no idea going into it how they were going to do it, and you watch like the first 15-20 minutes and you're like, okay, this is what the movie's going to be like. And I like that, because then whenever and something would happen with sound, like you felt like so much more gravity when like the whole lantern starts going on fire. You're just like,
and they used sound and lack thereof like so effectively. Very well. Honestly, I have two big critiques on the film. The first one isn't really so much about like crafting of the film and yada yada yada, but it's more just like I'm not a big jump scare fan. It's not because I do legitimately like jump scare. I jolt in my seat. I tense up. They get me. It's not that I don't like them. I do like a little jump scare once in a while. But when movies like lean on them too hard, I get tired of the jump scare. And I was really anticipating this movie to less jump scares, more like tension building. And I really wanted that. Tension building, and I got a lot of that.
There was a lot of that,
but there was a lot of jump scares too.
There was a few.
I'll name the ones that I wasn't a fan of.
There was the raccoon, right?
The raccoons falling off the roof literally made me like almost come out of the seat.
Yeah, that was the one that was the biggest jump scare for me.
That one was real big, and then it didn't have really much payoff. It was kind of like ha ha ha.
Yeah,
and so I was like, I didn't really like that one. The raccoon getting squished, I was like, that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
We already know that they kill kids. Like, you don't have to show them squishing it's just a jump scare for the sake of jump scare at that point. The hand on the glass in the shower.
Yeah.
That one is okay, because I get it. Like, he comes in there, she's not in the bathtub. Like, did it get her? Like, gotcha. She's right there.
Yeah.
So that one's okay, but again, like, I would have preferred him to just build that tension up even more, and then just release it like, oh, there she is.
Without having that moment of like, boom.
Because if you realistically, if your whole life is about not making any sounds, why would you boom like slap the glass in the bathroom? And then my other big critique is just kind of like some of the world building, which I'm sure you like also noticed doesn't really start to make sense. Like the use of electricity, like who's operating the power plant.
I did have a couple questions about that.
And you'll notice, and this isn't my whole, I got this idea from another reviewer, so I can't claim this one to be like my original thought. But he noticed like a detail to like make the audience realize like how important being quiet is when they're playing Monopoly. They have like little felt pieces.
I like that part where they showed that.
Well, here's the thing though. It's like,
but the problem
how much sound is enough sound to draw the attention of the monsters? Because if like rolling dice and like moving a playing piece, like tap 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 on the board, if that's enough sound to give you away, then I feel like just walking would be enough.
Right.
So I feel like they should have done a little more like establishment on like the specific amount of decibels that they can like pick up from a certain range, and then actually do research with microphones on like how many decibels does this sound emit. And like I know that's like ridiculous request and a lot of work, but it really does like add a layer of authenticity to the movie.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree with that. There was definite times where they weren't building it like it was a loud noise, so there was no monster that came, but there was definite times in the movie where noises were made that were definitely louder than like a board game piece moving or dice rolling. And I was surprised at moments in the movie where it's like someone got up from their chair or someone just walked and put something on a table.
Or somebody's running and they decide to cut through a cornfield where it's going to be wrestling and every step you take is
sure,
like crunch,
exactly.
crunch,
but the movie didn't decide that that's when they're going to come, so that sounds okay. But when the lantern breaks when they're playing Monopoly, or it was a lantern, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the light breaks when they're playing Monopoly, then that's all of a sudden a big moment because the background, everything stops. It's the way the movie was directed that made it seem like it's a big deal. But I agree. They did John Krasinski, yeah. The whole idea of the sound being too loud or too soft was kind of vague.
Yeah, it was well. I just feel like just some of the design of it, like it could have been more well thought out. I think it was like well thought out. I just feel like there could have been more to it.
I agree. I wanted a lot more, but I'm also glad it's a really short movie. It was like maybe an hour and a half.
It's 90 minutes exact.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a short movie.
That's good.
That's good, right? Exactly. They don't dilly-dally on just jump scares and scary moments,
especially for the horror film. If they brought in like a whole subplot, like there was like kind of that other family that they found at one point, and they were like,
exactly. You could have
if they brought in a whole subplot where like they're friends with them and like they try to build those characters just to make it more meaningful when they get taken away and add another 20 minutes to the movie. I don't really know if that would make me like the movie even more. I feel like I would still like the movie the same.
I agree, and maybe even make it worse, right?
Yeah.
I agree.
Think one of the coolest details I think there's a darker story being told in A Quiet Place. I think at the end of the movie, I think the entire human population is dead towards the end.
Most.
I think pretty much everybody is dead or is about to die. I feel like those creatures were replicating, or they were just eradicating all the sounds, because you notice at the beginning of the movie John goes up to the grain silo and he lights his signal flare, like Gondor, and then like
beacons are lit.
8 other ones go up, and I assume those are his neighbors and other farmers.
That's what they made you think, is there's some other survivors.
Who's lighting those fires, you know? So and the fire doesn't really matter because they can't see.
Right.
So you can make a big ass bonfire at night as long as it's not super loud. You're good.
Well, yeah, wouldn't the fire? Yeah, wouldn't the crackling of the fire also?
Well, yeah, but at the same time, that's another thing. Fire can be kind of loud, but with wind, and you never know. It's just one of those. Like, how loud does it have to be?
That's exactly. No, back to your point. I'm agreeing with you. Is how loud? They never really specify how loud.
Well, because distance is a big factor too. Like if one of those things is roaming near your farm, then you got to be dead quiet. But if there's none of them close to you, you could just be day-to-day life.
Exactly.
Or maybe they like sleep during the day, so you can be a little bit louder. I don't know.
And I also felt the same way. Here's an interesting question for me. So
wait. Sorry, I just wanted to finish my point.
Yeah, you're talking about
at the end,
everyone dying.
At the end, they light the fire, like the kids do.
Yeah.
And there's no other fires that go up. Theirs is the only one.
That's interesting.
So either they missed like the time that everyone has agreed to, like everybody do your signals at like sundown or at like an hour after sundown.
I think it's what you're saying. Though.
I think so too. I think the monsters are growing in force, and that like everybody's just getting taken out. Like time's up.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a dark, sad ending, even though they kind of leave you with like a glint of hope. Like, they're gonna be badasses.
You have like what's her name, Banshee now from X-Men, just going around screaming.
Canary.
Yeah, Black Canary over there, just like screaming.
And just the shotgun like cock at the end, like she's so ready now.
Yeah, she's a badass now. Get ready. Edge of Tomorrow. Here we go. So I had a problem where they show them building like the place where the mom, Emily Blunt's character, is gonna have the baby, right, underground, and they pad the walls and they put newspaper all over it. I didn't understand why only that room had to have that padding. Why not put more of the house with that padding, where you could actually walk around upstairs?
Well, they practically lived in that bunker. If you notice, they seem to only use the house for like his research, and that was it.
You're right.
They were moved out.
And when she has the kid and it's underneath the ground, they're talking like literally fine for like a good like 5 minutes, where most of the dialogue is said in the movie, besides the waterfall, which is also kind of a whole. But
I actually know the waterfall to me kind of secured the idea of like, if there's a louder sounds, like they can't hear.
Well, then why not live near the waterfall?
That's another good
That's
point,
like a big thing that kind of came up. Which
like carve out a cave behind the waterfall.
Yeah, exactly. There's not really an answer for that, which is kind of...
I mean, you get the days though. It had been like a year and like 3 months. So that's not a whole lot of time to like establish, like carve out a cave.
And to be fair, let's say you have to completely rebuild your home by a waterfall from scratch. Yeah. Literally no materials. Or you have this huge farm that you already own with some kind of electricity, I guess.
Somehow.
You have possible...
Yeah. That's the thing, like, if they're using a generator, generators are just like... Yeah.
I was kind of assuming that the way I heard it was, it's kind of like with dogs and cats too. When, like, you open the door for, like, a first time, like when it's a little dog or cat, they'll get spooked the first time you do it or you walk around. But after a long time... they learn that it's not like something that's moving, it's just a waterfall or it's just a generator. So they maybe, I guess they probably tear up the generator though, huh?
I don't know.
To make it stop making noise, because it still irritate them, right? Because that's what I got from it, is that they didn't like the sound. They wanted to
eradicate the sounds.
Yeah, and they also kill, like, for prey, hunting for food, I imagine. But I felt like also they just didn't like the sound. Like it was, I don't know, maybe I was just looking too far into it. But, yeah, I guess the whole waterfall thing doesn't make much sense to go move everything there when you have already a home. Yeah. But why not soundproof it? That's what I didn't get. Put more pillows over the walls where you actually walk around. That way, if you can play Monopoly without fluff ball pieces, and you can play normal Monopoly and eat off of actual stuff. But I did appreciate the detail of the small things, right? Everything they used was different because they were trying to reduce everything.
Yeah, and the trails of sand, like,
that was a good
everywhere. Touch. I thought that, and the system of lights, like red light for emergencies and the fireworks, like all that stuff, I liked it all.
There's some great, and also the escape the car. Remember at the very end they had the car set up in case of emergency. How you get back to it and it's all set up, which I kind of liked. It was all a plan. There was always a plan in case something would happen, which I really liked, but. In an hour and a half, you can only really tell so much, right?
Yeah. I think it was great. Like, it's similar to Infinity War. Like, I only have a couple minor criticisms that would just, like, take it from, like, an 8.5 to a 10. Right. Because I would just be like, I would get to have it my way.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend, and we were talking about how this was, like, a really good... I would call it a horror movie. I mean, it's more of a thriller, I feel, but it's kind of a horror film.
I would say it's horror because it's got the creepy, scary... monsters, and it's got a little bit of gore.
Yeah, so. Horror thriller, yeah. And then we were talking about how this was a good one. There's a lot of weak horror films.
I don't like the genre. Like, really, I don't enjoy it that much. But this one was one that like had like good craftsmen, like filmmaking put into it.
We were talking about this one, and Get Out last year was another great, like, kind of horror thriller, kind of intense.
I just had the realization, both of the writers and directors of those films started their careers in comedy.
You're right.
Interesting.
Office and
it's almost like you learn timing, Comedy and Central. Then you can do horror with good timing.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. But we were talking about how hopefully better horror movies, just as a genre, they start coming back. Like another age of really good horror films.
Like some Hitchcock.
Exactly. Yeah. You get the old Psychos, and you get the Exorcist, and you get all the classics.
Well, because I feel like those classics push the envelope far, like as far as like violence and effects and like just demonic stuff, and then it was like, whoa, shocking to audiences, and then like the next kind of generation, like in the 90s and 2000s, like wanted to just continue pushing it, and then we end up with just kind of schlock,
slasher,
like murder porn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
just violent, just gorn. Gorn.
What, like gore and porn?
Yeah,
gorn. Okay.
Well, that's what like Saw movies and like all that stuff is just like, it's so excessive. Like the whole point is and the antithesis of it all is Final Destination. Oh. The only good thing about the movies is like the crazy death scenes. Like you see those movies to watch people die like in crazy ways. That's why you go see it.
True.
And it's kind of weird to me. I'd rather see like a movie with like fun, kooky characters that's like has no drops of blood in it than I would go see just a boring ass movie with crazy gore.
Yeah, I'm definitely okay with like gory stuff in horror films, but as long as the movie itself is good behind it, that's what's important, Yeah. I feel like a lot of like horror films rely too much on just the scary, gross stuff to make people want to watch it, not that the fact it's actually a good movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
I'm kind of tired of also the other side of the horror genre, which is all like this paranormal side,
Dude.
specifically Paranormal Activity,
Oh.
where it's just like the whole genre has just become like people getting bullied by invisible stuff. Like getting your hair pulled or pushed down the stairs or dragged up the stairs.
What was it? Was it Paranormal Activity 3? And I had never watched a Paranormal Activity, and everyone was telling me they are so scary.
They're not.
I watched Paranormal Activity 3, and I sat there waiting for like some kind of scare, and it ended, and I felt so disappointed. I had never been so disappointed in a movie that was
even
hyped
the
up
Insidious series, like they're a step above the Paranormal series. I mean, for someone like me who says they don't see horror, like I've definitely seen plenty of horror.
Yeah, you're talking like you're a pretty big expert
I mean,
on this genre.
I like movies, but at the same time, like they disappoint me constantly.
Yeah. So when you find those good ones, you gotta love them.
Gotta hold on to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta share
They're a keeper.
Gotta share them.
So Quiet Place, recommend.
I do.
I recommend it.
You gotta see both those films if you haven't already. Gotta go out there, see them, have a good time. They're pretty different, so like whichever one sounds like you would enjoy more, go see that one.
One has a space hero pistol whipping a giant ballsack purple head. The other one has raccoons getting squashed by giant alien claws. So whichever one sounds more fun to you, that's the one you should go see.
Is that how you took it? They're from outer space. They're aliens. They crash landed. I like that they don't explain it because the explanation's always dumb.
Right.
It's always dumb.
There was another movie recently where they didn't really explain it, but I also felt like they didn't have to explain it, and they just put you in the universe, and this is
the way it is. What was it?
If you said it, I would.
Was it the one with? It was like 4 females.
Ghostbusters.
No, similar though.
Annihilation.
Is that what you're talking about?
I think it was Annihilation.
I didn't like Annihilation as much as I liked The Quiet Place.
No. Annihilation had some problems.
I would rent Annihilation. I would rent.
It's a renter.
It's a renter. It's a renter.
Yeah, it
just for Natalie Portman, because I love Natalie Portman.
She's a genius. Didn't she go to Harvard?
She did go to Harvard.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, I thought Annihilation had like so much suspense build up and then just fell so flat. It fell so flat. Yeah. I don't know. They tried to just recover with like a really cool ending, and it just opened it for way too many questions. To answer, and I don't know. It felt like they were reaching for an ending that was like a plot, like a cliffhanger, but it ended in such a.
I feel like the guy who like wrote it and like convinced the director and producers, like I feel like he explained it. I feel like he explained it really well.
Yeah.
And then like the final product didn't really reflect like the beginning product.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of ended up the way it was, and most audiences were just kind of like,
Yeah. The idea of the whole thing was cool with the DNA, but I just felt like they had so much more room to make a really cool ending with a crazy plot twist. Because at the very beginning, when the husband comes back, you knew it wasn't the husband because he was acting weird. You knew something was up, and then they kind of spoil it for you like really early on, and then you know that they're, I don't know.
It just, and then at the end, it's not really like a surprise. It's more of like a you were right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like we for a second we might have made you think like, am I right? And you're like, oh yeah, you were right. You're right. Yeah. Some people like that though. Some people don't want the big surprise. Like my mom is like that.
She
doesn't want to be twisted around. I don't think she saw it. She's not really into that stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
But she doesn't want to be like mind. She wants to enjoy a pleasant
I'll take that
film.
every day. Give me some.
Get some crazy twist. I was talking to somebody about Atomic Blonde, and they're like, I liked it, but I just couldn't keep up with the ending. And I was like, oh, was it?
I didn't see Atomic Blonde.
Oh, never mind. I'm so glad I didn't say that then.
I'm sorry, I did not see Atomic Blonde. It just came off to me as like a really like
I'll just say
cliche
this
action flick, and I grow tired of those so fast.
To me, it wasn't cliche. It wasn't cliche. It wasn't cliche.
Okay.
It definitely stands on its own. It was directed by the guy who does, or maybe not directed by, but the choreography was done by the same guy who does the choreography in the John Wick movies.
Oh.
So you get actually very well choreographed, long, like 2.5 minute takes of straight, like well choreographed fighting that feels real. It's not this Jason Bourne invincible, I don't get tired bullshit. Like these fights, like you feel the punches, you hurt when she's hurting, and like you can tell like there's this one fight scene in particular that's just brutal, and like by the end of the fight, like both fighters can like just barely stand.
Yeah.
And it's not really over the top or dramatic. Like it's all done like pretty well, and I really liked it. And there's more than one twist. So that's why most people like at the end were like, oh, a twist, and then like they just keep coming, and so some people walked out of the theater like having to have it explained to them. Okay. Some people walked out of the theater being like, that was nuts.
I think I'll watch it. I think I'll see it maybe tonight. Maybe if I don't have anything going on.
It's good. I recommend it. Your dad liked it. Me and him both gave it not a must watch, but a should watch.
Not a must watch, but a should. Yeah, should watch. If you're in the area, and you just need something to do,
Plus,
you should hit it up.
The soundtrack is fun. Like it takes place in Berlin during like the fall of the
80s?
wall. Yeah. And so you're getting all these classic popular 80s pop songs, but they're like in German. So it's just kind of like a fun thing.
Luftballon. The German classic from the 80s?
No, but it's the American classics, but in just German dubbed.
Oh.
Because, like, they're in Germany.
Gotcha.
So it's fun like that.
Hungry like the wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, well.
Did you want to talk about anything else? Do you want to talk about your band?
My band? Nah.
You guys got any new music coming up or shows?
I mean, we do. We're setting up one at the House of Blues now. We're gonna be somewhere up in Denton at J&J's Pizza on the 19th.
JJ's Pizza.
Yeah, we're gonna be there.
You're playing in the basement, huh?
Yeah, we'll be in the basement playing there for 2 hours or so. Yeah, we just got out of the studio, so I mean everything's looking good.
And your band is?
It's Abby and the Afternoon.
You can catch them on Spotify.
Yeah, some of our older stuff's on Spotify, but we got the new stuff coming out. Hopefully, within the month. We're just getting them mixed and mastered right now, so they sound good.
And do you know where that's going to be available?
Just, everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud.
All the good spots.
There's one more I'm missing. Google Play?
Google Play?
Yeah, I don't know if we're on Google Play.
That's like the opposite of iTunes for Android people.
Yeah, I think we're on there. I don't know though for sure. But yeah, that's going well. I was mentioning more about movies if... anything like movies you want.
Do you have any more movie stuff? Anything that you're excited about? Well, we talked about the solo film a little bit.
Yeah, we may have to meet up again and talk about Deadpool 2 and Solo.
Do like a once a month little movie catch up.
That could
be
just
if there's movies worth talking about.
Right, and there will definitely be some in this next month. There's 2.
I'm ready for Solo.
Yeah,
I'm like sad that Harrison Ford like has lived to see his 2 most iconic characters get just raped.
That's true. First Indiana Jones, and now he's got Indy, and then he's got Han Solo.
And some of you might have cringed at my use of the R word like just now, but it's in reference to South Park did a bit when Indiana Jones 4: The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was released. Oh, and the boys go see it, and because everyone knows it sucked. Everyone knows it was bad. It was a cash grab.
Hey, let's be honest. The monkey swinging was one of the greatest moments of cinema history.
Shia LaBeouf should have stayed in that hole.
Shia LaBeouf should have stayed in the hole.
Not taking that next movie.
But taking that sploosh and just run with the money.
The South Park boys go to the movie theater to watch the new Indiana Jones movie, and then in the movie it's Indiana Jones and then Steven Spielberg and like some other like executives like come out and they like rape him because they're just essentially saying that like Universal is like raping the franchise. It's like such a like Indiana Jones, like don't touch it, like it's leave it alone. He's good.
Indy 5's coming out soon too.
Yeah, I did see that. I hope that was so bad. I was about to say I hope Harrison Ford dies so they can't make it.
Oh my gosh.
Unless it's gonna be really good and it like saves the name. Indiana Jones ends on a good movie.
Is Shia LaBeouf going to be in this one?
No, they're not. No.
Oh, okay.
I'm fairly certain that he's like... I'm pretty sure they're going to forget that any of those events even occurred. Because wouldn't in this one it'd be like, hey, remember when I saw aliens?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they're going to ignore all that shit and just go back to like National Treasure style.
Yeah. National Treasure?
Yeah, just solving puzzles and looking for treasures that belong in a museum. That's what the people want.
Are you quoting Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's what, when you go to see Indiana Jones, you want to see him solve puzzles, punch some people in the face, maybe preferably Nazis.
Yeah, punch Nazis in the face, yeah.
And get stuff that belongs in a museum. That's what you want.
To be fair, when me and my brother went to England, London, we did see a crystal skull in the British Museum.
Was it the same one that the Rosetta Stone is in?
Yeah.
I've been to that museum.
Yeah, there was a crystal skull in there.
I've seen that crystal skull.
So the crystal skull does belong in the museum. And it is in a museum. So your point is invalid.
Because at the end of the movie, though, Indy doesn't get to put anything in the museum.
And it flies away in the spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they put the head back on, right? And that's what, like, ignited the spaceship or something like that.
He had no proof, just all he got was a son out of it, which I guess is a happy ending, but...
Well, they kind of tease it too, because remember, Indy walks away with the hat, and the hat rolls up next to Shia LaBeouf's feet, and then he picks it up and wears it himself. He gets on the
motorcycle.
Yeah, Indiana Jones. Yeah, and
everyone was like, "Don't do it, don't bring Shia LaBeouf and make him the new Indiana Jones."
I don't see it.
They're not.
I'm glad they're not.
But so that role and the Han Solo role, like, both being reprised and like just like re-squeeze, like I just imagine
milking.
Yeah, these franchises are like a dish rag that they're like wringing out, and just every last drop's gotta get wrung out.
Yeah. And
Harrison Ford looks like a skeleton.
He's getting old. He's like 70 years old.
Dude, I can't believe he's still doing shit. Like he broke his leg on The Force Awakens.
He did?
Yeah, he fell down and like JJ dropped the door on him or something. What? You didn't hear about that?
I did not hear JJ Abrams drop.
Yeah, JJ Abrams closed one of like the quick Star Wars like mechanical doors on him, and he broke his leg.
Why am I just now hearing of this?
Oh, dude, and yeah, he hurt his hand up, and when he was doing Blade Runner.
Yeah,
but
like, I mean,
I feel bad for him, dude. I want him to enjoy his retirement.
You know that gif of Woody Harrelson, like, wiping his tears with money? When he yeah. That's how Harrison Ford feels about it now.
I mean, doesn't he have enough money? I feel like if I were him, I would just be retired.
Maybe he just loves acting. Maybe he
loves
being Indiana Jones.
I watch his interviews when he goes to, like, promote the films, because they drag him out on those late night shows.
Yeah.
And he legitimately does not seem happy to... Maybe it's just the promotions, because I feel like none of the actors love doing those late night shows to promote. Yeah. But yeah, when it's his turn to promote whatever he's promoting, he's just like, fuck, just get off my airplane.
He sounds like an old grandpa.
He is an old grandpa.
He is an old grandpa.
But I love him.
Yeah. Well, that
wraps it up.
That wraps it up, yeah.
Well, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed our little movie talk.
Hopefully, yeah.
I know it's not for everybody, and that's fine. Then you can just listen to the Dim-wit of the Week at the beginning, and that's what that's for.
Yeah, and you can save 40 minutes of two other guys rambling about Infinity War pistol whipping. So, yeah.
But if you did enjoy it, we'll probably do another one after some more good movies come out.
Yeah, we'll have to wait. For sure, because I don't want to just talk about Overboard remake.
I'm not going to see Overboard.
And the new one with Amy Schumer. I don't want to talk about that. I don't even want to see him. So.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, we'll wait for sure.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Kyle. Appreciate it.
It was fun. I had a good time. Thanks for letting me on.
And we'll see you guys next week. Well, with another surprise guest host. Who will it be? Maybe it's you. You listening right now. It could be you. I really don't have a person. So like, hit me up.
Hit the roulette wheel up.
Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
I was thinking, I'll bleep this out. I was thinking.
Yeah.
Show.
Yeah, you can
goof off.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that'll be cool.
But anyways, if you liked Kyle and you want to see some more, leave a comment in the comment section. I want to hear Kyle comments.
You want to hear Kyle comments?
Yeah.
I've heard some good ones.
Don't worry, dude. Nobody comments.
Oh, no one comments? No. But see, now that we said it, someone's going to comment.
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, I'm hoping for that. Well, that takes care of that.
Alrighty.
See you next week.
See you guys.
Bye.